Robin.
Oh. Anything? E-Rock? No? Just figured it was,
I think I know, actually.
Oh.
Are you doing this because of my Stress Factory weekend coming up?
Ah.
Thursday. I don't know if any tickets are sold for this weekend. Next weekend is Brokerage in Long Island if you're in town.
Hey, there he is. How you doing, sir? Chuck.
Hi. How are you? Come sit.
Chuck.
Oh, you have a cold?
Palahniuk.
Oh, no, I'm going through puberty.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Time to change. It's time to rearrange. How you doing?
It's like a menopause cold.
Is it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Nothing
I don't want to get
worse.
sick.
No.
You'll be
I'm
fine.
I'm at the end.
Now, my immune system's amazing. I haven't worn a condom in 15 years. Believe me. You can cough in my face. I'm fine.
Spent a lifetime building up that immune
No,
system, did you?
I laugh at the flu. So congratulations on the we just got it, like literally 20 minutes ago. They handed us this book.
And
so
you read it?
Bastards.
Yeah, I was very
Okay.
quick read. I really think I grabbed it, though. I just kind of...
So I can
Yeah.
say anything about it once, and you won't even know.
I would have no idea.
No.
I'll
We
do
just
that.
kind of looked at the... Yeah, you could always look at the back and read that little thing on the back cover and go, I got the whole thing. Got it down.
That's about what people
I
do.
got it knocked. No. What's this one about?
This one is about a 13-year-old girl who is
Oh,
dead.
right. Stop right there.
A dead girl.
Oh, okay. Even better.
A dead, belligerent.
It gets hotter.
It's the Lovely Bones played for laughs.
Okay. That's... So it's a 13-year-old girl. Dead.
Dead. And she thinks she's dead from a drug overdose, but really she's dead. She can't come to terms with the fact that she was hideously, hideously killed.
Wow. That's
Second act reveal.
kind of heavy.
How Madison Spencer bites it in a hotel suite in the Beverly Wilshire.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit. Okay, that sounds pretty...
Yeah, it's all really funny.
Pretty
It's
bad.
okay.
yeah. All right. And where did this little tidbit come from?
Oh, you don't want to know. Don't take us there. Don't take us to the darkness yet.
Yeah?
No.
I mean, out of your head. Yeah?
No, not
There's
yet.
no place where
Not yet.
could have
Is that the worst question someone can ask? Because
metastasized in your head?
No, because it's all of my books come from hideous, horrible. Usually,
Do they
somebody
really?
dies. Yeah, always.
Is it personal experience or just your thoughts?
No, it's personal experience, always. Yeah.
Did you know a 13-year-old girl that died horribly?
Oh, you're really gonna take us right there?
I
right
want to go right down
to the
diving
emotional
into the
kernel
deep end
of my soul.
Indeed, I have to know where this comes from.
Okay, okay,
It sounds like
you asked for
because
it.
I'm like
In 2008, when the Choke movie was coming out, which is about a son trying to save his dying mother, and it's a comedy about a son trying to save his dying mother.
comedy.
And I had to go on the road and promote this movie about his son trying to save his dying mother. My mother got lung cancer,
Oh,
and she
shit.
spent that whole year dying very slowly. And I had to go from movie premiere about a comedy about the situation to real-life tragedy. The chemo lounge and the bedside death room and the hospice. And so, taking care of my dying mother, thank you very much for bringing this up, scraping the scab off my soul.
I didn't know that was going to go that deep and dark.
Where do you
And-
think the 13-year-old dead girl is going to come from? A banana split we dropped?
Oh, that is all right. That's some heavy duty shit right there.
Well,
Definitely.
and the whole point is I didn't want to write some sad book about some middle-aged guy mourning both of his parents because they're both gone. So
Yeah.
I could turn it around and make it a funny book about a dead kid missing her parents because secretly at heart I am a 13-year-old girl. And
Who isn't?
All right.
and it's okay. It can be funny because they're still alive.
So that wow, that's sort of an abstract way of twisting it around. I'm so literal, like I can't think in terms like that. I
You're just
admire,
not a good liar.
No, I admire that though because I'm so fucking literal whenever I try to come up with a story or anything like that. But to be able to turn it into this weird opposite thing, where it's a 13-year-old girl mourning the loss of her parents because she's dead. Like how do you turn that around? That's such an odd thing to be able to do.
I always do that. I've got this story I read on tour right now called Romance. And people just love this story. There's already a movie in the making. And it really is about creating in a story that feeling of when you're working on an idea all winter long and you just love this idea and it's you and this idea and you finally have to bring this idea to the world. And then the world either doesn't like it or does like it. And that horrible disconnect when nobody likes the idea that you spent a year working on.
Yeah, that's got to be that's got to suck. You know, because we'll pump a shitty show out 5 days a week.
Yeah, exactly.
And
20 mediocre hours in a row.
And the next day it's done. If somebody goes, "Wow, they sucked yesterday," you get a new chance the next day. How do you take that when people kind of shit on your work?
You always get another one right there. My father always said the only sex advice: don't dump the one you're with until you're dating the next one.
Oh, really?
So you're always really down the road by the time it happens.
Doesn't that hurt people, though? Tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You always end a relationship
What
by starting a
doesn't
new
hurt
one.
people?
Yeah.
Everything hurts people.
Do you have a very cynical look at the view of the world like that?
Not at all.
No?
Listen to me. I'm Joni Mitchell over here.
Okay, I detect a bit of sarcasm along with cynicism. But where did that come from? Growing up, like what's your background as far as a child goes?
Okay, this is the delving back. Into
delving. I want to because I enjoy your work. I just want to know where the fuck this comes from.
These so many superficial layers of defense mechanism.
Yes. And I see them all in you. You kind of get taken aback a little bit. You don't want to delve right in and tell people your darkness.
Well, it seems like it's a very New York thing. It's a very Philadelphia thing where nobody's really vulnerable up front. You have to insult each other for a while. You have to be kind of abrasive for a while. And by the time you do kind of engage, you feel like you've won something. There's something there worth knowing.
Yeah.
And so I'm that way. It's like, you've really got to.
So I got to work a little bit.
Yeah, so you're saying
I can't just ask.
Nobody likes a candy bag that's just open. You like to fucking just tear at it a little bit and bite it and rip it, and then the candy is more delicious. I didn't need to finish explaining that, by the way. I could have just said candy bag open. Everybody got it.
Now E-Rock's drooling. You really screwed the whole show up. When did you start puting things down on paper? Like, I wasn't going to say pen to paper. Actually, I was. I thought that is so hacky and terrible. When did you start putting pen to paper? No, when did you start writing and realizing like that you had these cynical ideas that you don't want to talk about? No. No, not going to answer that one.
I have no idea.
Really? You have no idea when you started writing?
Oh, no.
Just all of a sudden you had a book.
I'm going to go back and talk about 5th grade.
Okay. I don't mind. That's kind of cool.
Do you know
that's like where we all are anyway. Come be honest. How much have you changed since, I mean, physically or anything? I just mean, since like the 5th grade or being a child, we all really don't change all that.
You actually like the same girls now.
Yes, I do.
He's a pedophile.
Right. he's a pedophile. Continue the interview.
Okay, FBI.
Christ.
What websites have you been to?
No, but we are pretty much in essence the same people we always were. I mean,
Well, and that's a big reason for making this kid in this book 13. Now, originally I made her 12 because I wanted to make her that person that we are before puberty wipes us out. Because, at 11, 12, we are so together and we really have a strategy and we are so smart and we are so confident and we are just going to go out and we are going to kick the world's butt. And we have it figured out and we can do it. And then puberty hits and we are just back to zero.
When you write a story, do you get like, do you see the whole story in your head and go like, I kind of want it to go here? Or do you literally just see the beginning in your head and then let it unfold? Or will you see the middle and then kind of backtrack and start it somewhere? Or does it work always?
It's usually based on, and most of the books is based on, what does this person do to fool people into loving them? Like in Choke, guy who fakes choking in restaurants so that people will, in effect, embrace him and hug him very tightly. And he can sort of burp like a baby, have that weeping, that public crying, and people will applaud. And in a way, it's an adoption. He's reborn every time that he's Heimlicked. And you could do that over and over until two people find out that they've both done it. And then the whole system falls apart.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you run this scam, doing a despicable thing for a noble reason until it breaks down. And that's at the end of the second act. So I know everything up to that point.
How many acts are in for a story? Is it a 3-act story? Is that
usually
typical?
3 acts for me? Yeah.
Okay, and will you look at something and go, "Fuck, that's great," but you know what? That doesn't work until later in the second act. I can't write it right now.
It gives me something to write towards. So that's perfect. You know, I just know kind of all the stations of the cross it's got to go through. And once it reaches that second act breakdown, where everything kind of crumbles to dust, that's when it gets fascinating, because at that point I have no idea where it's going.
What do you, when people's stories fall, because I think it's very hard to write a story that builds and gains interest and becomes more involved. Do you see people's stories falling apart because they don't follow a 1 to 2 to third act type of a linear thinking, and they do too much too fast and there's nothing to follow it up? Or do you see people's stories just collapsing because of it?
Well, usually it's the other way around. It's they do too little. Their characters fail to take action. Their characters are too much in thought. They consider their options. That's all so boring on the page. Or their characters are alone. And that's death also, because the reader is alone. And the reader wants to be reading about people together. So character has to take action without a lot of consideration. And also keeping description to a minimum. That's why everything in my books takes place in airplanes, bathrooms, buses, because we all know what those places look like. You don't have to slow things down and describe them.
Well, that's a great...
Never even thought of that.
And that just becomes...
Goddamn authors.
I'm a Stephen King fan. I don't read much, but I the way he's actually a really good nonfiction writer, and I know a lot of authors don't like Stephen King, but watching the way he'll build a story and the character development, it's amazing to me. Like, I would never be that patient to develop this person this much where anybody gives a shit about him. I would just rush right into the scene where he runs in and you'll stick him up.
Stick him up. Is that what you want to?
But you know what I mean? Like, I admire the ability to be that patient and that to build something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just rushing and it's stupid, babbling.
Well, you know, it's you would make a lousy stripper, because it really is like being a stripper, and the stripper doesn't go out there and say, "Okay, guys, here's a pussy. Any questions?" You know,
I kind of would like that.
Yeah, I would too.
Like that direct approach, but
no, you would not.
I have questions. You have questions,
and that's not why I'd make a lousy stripper. It's because I have no chin and a fat stomach and a mediocre penis.
At least your tits are nice. Well, what are you gonna do?
Okay, lady. All right. Here's a penis. Any
Jesus
questions?
Christ. This is it's kind of odd, because you deal with personal questions the same way you deal with your writing. You don't want to delve right into giving the answers. You kind of, I would love to know where the deep, dark places are from your youth. And you're like, well, get to that maybe. You got to peel away some layers and stuff. So do you always deal with your personal life like you do your writing?
Pretty much. In a way, I think my personal life is boring.
Really?
Almost everyone's personal life is boring.
But to be able to come up with ideas for stories like you do, you would think they have to come from somewhere.
From deep, unabiding boringness.
Just boringness.
Boredom.
A lot of people are bored and they really can't write very well. So
yeah, but we want excitement, and if you can't find it in the medium you're looking for, it's a great way to take a shot at it.
And you literally get excited when you're writing something, and does an idea come to mind sometimes that surprises you as the author and go like, wow, that's fucking great?
Oh, and it will keep me awake for days and days. Or if somebody will say something to me, just in passing, oh, this is great, horrible story. I was at a charity dinner party a few weeks ago, and there was an oncologist across the table, and he was telling these rollicking stories about diagnosing people in public. Jeez. He was on an airplane drinking a glass of wine. The woman next to him leaned over, and she was very chatty, and she said, I would love to have a glass of wine. I really love wine, but just recently, every time I take a sip of wine, I feel this burning in the base of my throat. Fantastic, searing, hot burning. And so I told myself that God doesn't want me to drink wine anymore. So even though I love wine, and I'd love to be drinking like you, God doesn't want me to drink wine. And this man turned to her and he said, no, ma'am, I'm an oncologist, and that's what's called a canary indicator, an unmistakable, like a canary in a coal mine, sign that you have Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Holy shit.
If you drink alcohol of any kind, they're not sure of the mechanism, but if you drink beer, liquor, wine, and you feel a sharp burning in the base of your throat, that means you have fairly advanced Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Holy shit.
And he gave her his card.
I like hearing that.
And he said, you need to go to your primary care physician, have him call me, because you could be dead by the end of the summer. A week later, the primary care physician calls this man and says, you were right. She'll probably be dead in 6 weeks. But you could have been a little less of a prick about it.
Whoa,
did he really say
man.
that?
That's brutal.
And so when people tell you stories like that, what do you do with them? The only way you can deal with them is to retell them, to process them, to digest them by repeating them. And this man at the dinner table was doing exactly that. He was telling this as a rollicking story, and he had people at the table roaring with laughter. Sorry about that.
Guess it's,
in a way, I just ruined drinking for you.
Nah, believe me, I'll
you
know
didn't.
every second.
I'm happy.
if I have it.
I'm happy an annoying person on the plane had a fucking bad ending. Much worse than a chatty fucking person next to you.
I'm constantly testing myself then to make sure I don't have it.
But when it doesn't burn, then you really can feel happy.
Then I can enjoy my beer.
Another day.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
you drink?
Of course I drink, but
Yeah, a lot of authors do.
Trepidation.
A lot of authors are like fucking drunks, huh?
Yeah, they're all kooks.
You
all
drink to
kooks.
excess a little bit?
never.
No?
No, I
I
no.
bet you do. A little bit. Sometimes.
No.
Were you like as a kid? Were you kind of lonely? I mean, because to be as creative as you are, it's like it's almost like that type of an imagination. It doesn't seem like it comes from being with a whole bunch of people. It seems like the type of thing that is born from being kind of by yourself.
I'm just waiting for the violins to come in.
No, I'm curious. I'm actually
Poor
curious.
Chuck.
But no, is that what it is? Because I'm not saying that in a sad way, just as a factual thing.
No, also, I would think you don't feel that you're creatively on the same level as other people. It's like, you know, you guy's an asshole.
Or you have to make
I
up.
rule.
A lot of times, creativity makes up for what is not happening in real life.
Yeah.
Like just because it's like
I love how we're analyzing you as
No,
you just
I'm-
sit there.
but I'm-
It's fucking great.
But we're all creative people in our own way, and it's like what makes me do what I do. It was a need. I'm a comic because I fucking couldn't talk to girls because I hated my, so whatever. It's interesting to me why people are what
Yeah.
they are.
Did you have a good social life growing up, or?
You know, I started writing in my 30s, and I had to set
Really?
aside a big social life in order to start writing. And at one point I decided I was only going to write at parties, that I would go to every party I could and I would write socially, because it was at parties where people were telling me great stories. And my life only generates so many mundane ideas because my life is so mundane. But if I go to a party and I suggest a theme, like, for example, when I worked at Freightliner, I worked building Freightliner trucks after school for 13 years. And your first day at Freightliner, they send you to find the squeegee sharpener. And I
Oh,
had to
yeah,
go to
smart asses, yeah.
every station in the factory and every foreman tore me a new asshole.
We're all laughing at
And there
you.
is no such thing. I would tell that story at a party, and 100 people would come forward and say, I used to work at TGI Fridays, and your first 8 hours, they send you to look for the banana peeler. And people would tell me the most amazing, horrific versions of that story. What surgeons do to each other is just appalling. And things using real blood and real dead things. But it's only at parties that you have that wealth, that access to a huge wealth of human experience that is so much better than your own. And so being a writer has made me a very social person.
But you seem to also have this morbid fixation. Like from your stories and just from the short time talking, there does seem to be this fixation with things that are really kind of dark and horrible.
Okay, another child. You want a childhood story?
Sure.
You want a childhood story?
I know. What the hell are you doing?
The Vienna Boys Choir. To be confirmed in my Catholic church when I was growing up, you had to do like 1,600 hours as a candy striper at Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Hospital. And so I would go in every Saturday, and I would be given these quasi-orderly jobs, like cleaning delivery rooms for 8 hours.
Oof.
13 years old, and I'm cleaning delivery rooms, and I'm inventorying Percodans, and I'm cleaning catheters, and I fucking love it.
Why?
I would come home in the evening and my mother would say, "So what'd you do at the hospital?" And I'd say, "I bagged steaming hot placentas for 8 hours." And there was just something so...
How would you, why would you like that? That doesn't seem to be, especially as a kid.
As a kid, it has that whole gooey Halloween, mortality, zombie, gruesome vibe to it. And
But
it's miraculous.
As a kid, just realizing mortality was frightening, at least to me. And I think a lot of people that I know, it was the same thing. Did you ever hit that point where, as a kid, you You realized your own mortality by being in that environment?
I did, but then the step beyond that is you recognize that there's a difference between alive and dead. And in a way, it seemed to confirm the nature or confirm existence of a human soul, because the dead things I dealt with were so different than living things. And so in a way, I saw it as fantastically life-affirming.
See, I don't think of it that way. I think of it as petrifyingly frightening when I was a kid.
And it was all the Percodans
Kind of got over it,
eat.
but all the Percodans. were you doing like free Percodans back when you were 13?
In the 1970s, nobody inventoried shit.
Damn, that's nice. Yeah, at that age, wow, you must have been a hit with your friends.
I had no friends. Why do you think I was spending every Saturday
with fucking placenta?
Yeah.
Crazy
inserting catheters?
Of course you did.
That's not the guy that gets invited to the party. What are you doing? Oh, cleaning out fucking catheters. Oh, invite him. He's fun.
Were you looked at as kind of the gruesome kid? Did people kind of steer away from you? Girls or guys looking and going, hey, that's that weirdo fucking Chuck?
No, I was just the good listener kid. Opened my high school yearbook, and it's all from the fat girls. To Chuck, you're a wonderful listener. You're a great best friend.
Oh, great.
Don't ever change.
Thanks for the ride to the airport.
I hope someday you find someone. That's not me.
Do you start those things at the party? You'll actually start those discussions just because you're kind of just to see where it goes.
Because a good story doesn't shut the room down. A good story makes everybody lean forward with their own version of that story. Oh yeah, that happened to me. Oh my gosh, something similar happened to me. And you start to see that this is just a sort of a universal human experience. And at that point, you can choose the very best examples of that experience, and you can turn them into a 3-act story.
I'm a terrible storyteller. Like,
Really?
I literally, no matter what the story is, I watch people's eyes just going away halfway. I don't care.
Oh, wait, come on. You're a best-selling author yourself, Jimmy Norton.
But it's different than actually being able to sit there and verbally tell a story. I could have been on the fucking knoll and telling people about the puff of smoke, and I would watch their eyes go away. Nobody gives a shit. I'm just terrible.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a real art to be able to verbally. Louis C.K. is an amazing storyteller. Like, he can talk to you about anything and rope you in.
I think it's easier when it's your own life experiences, nonfiction, things like that. To come up with fictional characters, I find that impossible. Like, to be able to just pull someone out of thin air and give them a soul, to me, that's amazing. Is it always based on someone you've known, or at least a piece of it, your characters, or do you just pull them out of thin air?
Always based on somebody.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's always somebody.
Yeah, back to the darkness. In my mother's last months, as she was on so many palliative painkillers, she would get very giddy and very kind of small, childish, and she would tell stories about her childhood that I had never heard. And so in a way, this dead 13-year-old girl is very much that person she became. And the books that the little girl is obsessed with were the books my mother had set out to read in her last year, all of her favorite books. And so those became Madison's favorite books in this book.
Right.
So in a way, it is a way to process experience, but also to archive and memorialize experience, to kind of preserve it and organize it.
Yeah.
Did it make it harder? Like, did it make it sadder for you to write, or did it help with grieving to actually look at like those books and see them printed because there's such a direct association?
You know, it makes it much easier. Because you can deal with it in this kind of abstract, removed way, like a craft experiment. And you can research it, you can develop it, you can really vent and exhaust all of your emotion around it. And during this, time passes, and time is the only thing that heals that shit. And so, before you know it, a year has gone by, 2 years have gone by, and that's what you really need.
How long does it take you normally, or does it completely vary from the time you get a concept to when you start writing it? Or will you actually think of something and then tomorrow just sit down? Or do
And
you
put pen to paper.
Yeah, I was going to say fingers to keyboard, but then again, I'm very millennium. Or do you start right away, or do you have to kind of knock it around for a month or two?
You know, it really depends, because sometimes you'll hear a little portion of something, and it's not enough to make even a short story out of. I had this short story, Guts, that was making people faint. And for years and years, I would hear one portion, an experiment a kid did, and it wasn't enough. And I heard another similar one, and then I would tell that one at parties, and someone told me a third similar one from their own life. And then I had a 3-act story that was so funny on the front end and so shocking on the back end that would make people fall down and faint. And so I carried those stories for 20 years before I found 3 that would work together and make something.
Wow.
How many people just go, oh, fucking, let's not invite Chuck to this party? Holy shit, he's just fucking
He just gets us on a weird tangent.
He's talking about death and this is terrible.
I'm trying to enjoy my cocktail weenie. Next thing he's thinking about me being molested. I don't know how it happens every time he gets me.
Take a sip of my drink, my throat burns, he's freaking me out.
And meanwhile, I'm always interested in the first words of a book, too, because when you're writing a story, how do you start a story? I'm tired. It's rainy. I never know how to start a fucking, unless it's the truth, but even the
Maybe
truth.
you're tired and it's rainy.
Yeah, I know that, but it's like I could be a little bit more poetic. It's not dry. Interesting. But it's like, what a great opening line to this. There's like what do you call in the italics what you write right before the paragraph starts? What is that called?
Page 1.
No, but there's something, it's like a little heading.
A preamble or a summary that happens before the chapter.
Yeah, a lot of people will use song lyrics, like, the man came home and then the man sat down, and then the chapter starts. It just means something.
Keep that one in mind.
And what a great opening line. How to best convey the exact sensation of being dead, ... And it's like that immediately makes you want to read the next sentence.
Yeah.
I'm always, it's hard to fucking do, man.
See, that's why you always take off your shoe really slow. You don't just whip off your G-string and say, "This is my pussy." Any questions? It's always take that shoe off.
Wow.
Give the tease, the little fucking, the dance.
That is true, because Mr. Rogers didn't just go into talking to King Friday. That would have blown the whole gig.
Nah, you got to change the shirt.
Take the sweater and the shoes and change.
Yep.
That whole,
Do you get territorial, too? Because, like, you write something like, I noticed a lot of times when authors get involved with the films, it's like Stephen King's movies are great. Kubrick did an amazing job with The Shining. When Stephen King did it, it was hideous. Do you get too married to the story to be effective in the screenplay, or do you not care if they change it a little bit?
I really don't care.
You don't? Okay.
Because in a way, when they do change it, I think it makes 2 unique things with integrity. And when the book is adapted too beautifully, like Rosemary's Baby, you forget that there ever was a book, or The Graduate. Whoever knew there was a book called The Graduate?
Yeah.
Because the movie has eclipsed it so perfectly. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane was a best-selling novel, but it doesn't exist anymore because the movie totally, was so
those
perfect.
characters as they were portrayed by the actors also,
Right.
so you don't really have to imagine what they're all about. Yeah.
When there's a difference, the 2 can coexist. The book and the movie will continue to exist. One won't destroy the other.
That's a good way to put it. The 2 unique things. I would never have thought of it that way. That's a great way to look at it.
Fight Club was pretty different if you read the book than the movie.
That's a
lot of
prime
differences
example
there.
of a lot of people are conflicted over what was better. Because it's always got to be what's better.
Exactly.
But you put it
You
in
want
terms
that.
of they're 2 different things. Yeah.
Yeah, and you want that ongoing kind of conflict, that unresolved discussion about it.
I think Jim Olds, I think his pronunciation is Olds, his last name, the guy that did the screenplay for Fight Club. I think he did a really great job. And I was wondering if, I know it was kind of sort of touched on, if there was anything that you wanted to fight him on, that maybe was changed too much, or thought that perhaps something should have gone a little closer to where the book was going.
I was going to ask that.
Well, no, I stole it.
I
so now
did
it's mine.
ask that. You just rephrased it. But go ahead, Chuck. If you want it for the 3rd time, feel free.
That was something I talked to, David Fincher as well, was that this man the social contract was that he was deceiving dying people, letting them believe that he was also dying. So the 3rd act of the social contract was that he had to be revealed as fake to them, and they had to be given the option of either accepting him back into community or banishing, kind of discarding him. And the movie just didn't have the time to do that. So, instead we had a fist fight. Something very physical, something very full of action, because a movie is things that move, and a book has the freedom, it doesn't have to constantly be in motion like that. So in a movie, if it doesn't move, it doesn't really play. And that's why the 3rd act had to be a big fist fight instead of this emotional bonding or discarding scene.
That's a very logical way to look at it, and it probably has saved you a tremendous amount of frustration and annoyance, because you have that's a really smart way to look at it, to recognize it for what it is, and this is why there's a necessity to it moving that way.
Right. Things work better in different forms. What is the nature of the form? What can a book do that only a book can do? And so make the book do those things that the book can do best.
And do you you don't like a lot of thought in book, meaning like your characters thinking. You like them to just act because you think when they think it bogs it down, or they think too much it bogs it down.
Well, I think that when you think and then you take action, it's like saying, okay, I'm going to walk down the street, and then walking down the street. That I think the action depicts the thought well enough that you don't have to declare it up front with a thought process. You can just take the action. And we're all intelligent enough as movie audiences that we can discern the thought process that led to that action.
Well, some of the people listening.
Yeah.
Most are really just blithering idiots.
I know,
out
and
there.
I was wondering with things like Arrested Development, would it be just as funny without the voiceover?
All right, without the narrative,
really right.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Was the voiceover a big part of it?
Yeah, Ron Howard did the voiceover for it. Yeah.
And it's cute, but I wonder if it would occur as funny in a different way. Or, say, with Blade Runner. Any movie that uses voiceover, would it be better without the voiceover?
I'm being reminded of, I think there's a video, it's probably on YouTube, where someone took all the voiceover of Daniel Stern out of the Wonder Years. And it's just really awkward because it'll just be like Fred Savage just kind of staring and looking at things blankly because there's supposed to be this voiceover.
That's odd, yeah,
and it just looks really silly and strange. It's actually quite funny.
Certain movies couldn't be done, like Apocalypse Now, or especially Clockwork Orange. Casino, those,
Casino's all fucking
Scorsese's
voiceover,
films.
Yeah, right.
Although Raging Bull didn't have any
thinking
voiceover.
that too, though, before you said it.
Yeah, we've talked about Casino a lot.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You don't care about Casino. You probably just Googled it.
Save it for your shit hour.
Asshole.
After the show.
Fucking creep. Thanks for nothing. All right, well, appreciate you coming in. But yeah, I find that with voiceover, I was writing something in show form recently, and I used probably too much voiceover. But it was almost like, because the way I think is so mean about myself, like I really do. And it's like, how do you capture that? My manager's like, well, you might want to have other characters saying it. Yeah, that works sometimes, but then it goes into the realm of this unbelievable world where people don't talk to each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, literally, I'll sit there and go, you fat-titted worm. But nobody on the train is just going to say that to me. It just gets into, that's kind of sitcom-y. It doesn't make sense. So I guess you have to have a balance with it. I'm boring myself.
Do you ever... do you ever think that works? Do you like the narrative? Do you ever think that works, or do you look at it like, it's a cheap way to get around writing?
Well, I think that there are really smart ways of doing it. When you look at Citizen Kane, that's why we have all those those newsreel reporters in there, so they can ask the big rhetorical questions. They can kind of underscore each point, each shift in the plot. You know, we bring in these faceless people who really have no faces. They're always shot in profile. They're always shot with light bouncing off their glasses. So they never have a face of any kind. And they just stand there like a Greek chorus and say, what was Rosebud? You know, do you think it was a racehorse? And they say all those kind of voiceover sort of indicating things.
So in a clever way, it kind of works, but not just as a shortcut to get to, hey, this is where I want to go.
And so when it can be put in as integral part of the storytelling form, it works really well.
And the book was so different, too, because it opens up, it blows the whole thing. Citizen Kane, it opens up with, so my sled Rosebud got thrown in the fire, and then you just lose interest.
Thanks. Spoiler. Jesus.
I like Citizen.
Seen it yet.
Do you think that's the greatest film ever done? I felt it's not. I feel it's great, and it was amazing how he shot with shadows, and I feel that it should get the credit as the greatest.
You know, I think it's a good teaching film, that there are films that do things really beautifully. That movie, Rosemary's Baby, and that you can refer back to them, and that are common enough that everyone in your audience will know that, and will be able to identify that aspect of storytelling you're talking about.
Like, what did you think about? Because Rosemary's Baby, I thought was great. What did you think was so great about? Because that's an odd one to pick. Because it's a horror film.
Yeah.
And
you know, the ambiguity of the doorbells is incredible, because as people enter and leave shots, they have these audio bridges of the doorbell ringing, and after you've seen it several times, or you read the book, you recognize that the doorbell wasn't ringing in the next shot. It was ringing in the previous shot, indicating that Cassavetes was going next door to the devil worshippers. And so the doorbell is a real fantastic audio bridge that's ambiguous.
I wish I was smart enough to pick up on that shit.
Dude, I'm just
like, what is that?
I would just say, who's it? Open it! That is a really smart way to look at it. Now, did you hear that analyzed by somebody, or did you think of that and go, "Wow, that's
call
probably
him stupid"?
No, I'm asking how.
It
Doesn't matter how you learn something. However you learn.
Called the man stupid.
No, I didn't.
Jimmy.
I asked him how he got a
Jesus.
certain amount. Colin Quinn one time smashed somebody, or he did on stage. It was a brilliant point about how people, like, if they hear something in a movie and they learn it, they like to say that they read it because people think it makes you smarter if you learn something from reading it. But once you know it, who knows? Who cares how you know what 2 + 2 is, as long as you know it. But then again, he figured something out, and I'm saying no, just parrot information. So I guess fuck me, I'm completely wrong. I'm a blithering idiot. Are you doing any book signings for this?
Tonight at the Cooper Union, something o'clock.
Something o'clock.
Oh, it's right
got to be
in
there.
New
Yeah.
York.
It's the book is called Damned, and it's in bookstores and it's Amazon, obviously. Oh, there's a reading tonight, 6 o'clock at the Strand on 820. It's Broadway and 12th in New York City, and on Twitter it's at Chuck Palahniuk, and it's spelled one word, CHUCK PALAHNIUK. Do you like doing signings and things like that? Have you ever had a signing that people didn't show up for? But it was way back when you first started?
Way back.
It's embarrassing, right?
Yeah, but you still get kind of wined and dined. So, and you're a beginning writer, and you just love being on somebody else's meal ticket.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you gotta make excuses, though. They're like, yeah, there's another event in town. It's just...
It must be that.
We had a few years ago when we were coming back on a satellite where you see the same person come around the line just to ask you a second question because they can. You're like, ugh, God, am I a fucking flop? But there was twice as many of you.
I'm sorry. What was that, Jimmy?
76 people have fainted at Chuck's readings.
Really?
That's where I quit counting.
Swooning like Sinatra?
Or is it just very hot?
Yeah, this could be hot.
It's that terrible gut story that's so funny and charms people at the beginning, but at the end, once they're hooked, it gets so gruesome.
Yeah.
And it's well over 200 now. I just quit it counting at 71 or 73.
Do they really faint for real?
Yeah, it's documented. It's been videotaped.
You're like a weapon. You're like some kind of a human weapon thing.
I know, it makes me so popular.
What we were talking earlier about.
I'm like a dirty bomb.
You are. You just walk in and fucking people faint. It's
So many
great.
ways.
We were talking about books and with the advent of iPads and digital delivery and whatnot. How do you feel about that as an author, as opposed to paper books and then on a Kindle or something like that? Does it bother you or have any real opinion on it?
The blessing of the Kindle or the Nook, the Sony Reader. I don't have to sign the goddamn thing. Okay, that is always the upside part of it.
I bet you've had people that would like, could you sign my Kindle? Sign the back.
So far,
right?
I've held off.
Have you?
Yeah.
Get away from me!
It's like-
with your dumb Kindle.
I don't
Get me
know
a
whose
book.
books are on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think it's going to hurt? Because the advantage is anybody can get it. It can be an impulse buy. They can just go, digitally get it and, on the iPhone or whatever it is. But there's something about going into a bookstore. Like, they just took down the Barnes & Noble on 66th Street, which I used to love walking through there. And it just seemed...
Smelling books like a creep.
Oh, I do.
He loves to
Especially-
smell a book.
Who doesn't? What's better than a fucking...
It's great. You crack a new book open and
I
smell
did that to
those
Chuck's
pages.
book the minute I got it. I just shoved my dumb face into it. By the way, very interesting. This is what I'll miss. Like, the material of the cover of this book feels really different
Yeah.
than any other book cover I've ever felt. I don't know what the material is, but you want to just keep
It's
holding
just a
this.
visceral thing with holding a book too that I don't think you get when you're just holding a flat.
Well,
panel.
I punctuate a lot with it. Like, if I'm talking to a girl, I'm like, look, we can go out. I'll buy you a drink. And it never gets irritating. They love that.
I
But
bet.
I don't. Was that anything to do with you, or is that purely the publisher being creative? Because it's a great book to fucking hold.
Yeah, it's a publisher, and I think it's supposed to feel like skin. It has that kind of waxy skin feel to it. And
that is
it goes with a
creepy.
tattoo on the cover, kind of thing.
Necromonicon.
Necronomicon.
Necronomicon.
Yeah, that's all
Go on,
right. So you don't. You
Right,
don't.
whatever.
You're not going to miss signing a whole bunch of books.
No, that is my slowest, worst part. I always get people's names wrong. I always mess it up.
Oh.
It's just a misery.
Do you feel obligated to write something, or do you just write, "Hi, Bill, Chuck"?
Good luck with the bedwetting. I hope that herpes clears up. Always something.
Yeah, you just got to put a little personal something with them.
Something they'll have to explain to their kids someday.
Why you wrote that?
Exactly.
That's why
do you
I-
write that, Daddy?
I liked when we would sign our dopey pictures at appearances because Opie, when we take the pictures, he's on the left and then I'm on the right, so he has to sign it first, or his hand will smear mine. So he's always the guy that's got to go, "What's your name?" Spell the name right, and then I just go, "Anthony."
I'm not Opie.
It's
I'm
very
Jim.
handy. Yes, Opie's not in today.
Yeah.
Opie's,
'Cause I'm afraid I'll see Chuck
trick-or-treating.
somewhere. Not that he would remember me, but if I would go, hi, I remember me to go, hi, Opie.
He will not remember
People
you.
don't remember me at all by
Much
name.
too famous to remember the likes of you.
Well, you never know.
That's what I would think anyway.
Well, the book,
yeah.
I actually very psyched to read this because I'm telling you, the opening line in that book is just great.
That's great. Chuck,
Now that you know the sad darkness it comes from, that will just ruin it for you. Sorry.
yeah.
No, it won't at all. It'll make me really enjoy it more.
Actually, we don't know too much about the sad darkness. That's pretty good.
Well, I
like
was
you
completely
kept
wrong with
it-
his childhood.
Yeah.
Hey, so were you a lonely kid writing? No, I started writing when I was 30 in the trucking industry. All right. I couldn't have been wronger if I said, so how long have you been a
Wronger?
black female? I'm an asshole. Fucking thank God I'm not a psychoanalyst.
When I first put pen to paper.
Yes, pen to paper, of course.
Do you like other authors, or do you like being around other authors, or do you find, is there something about other authors? Like, I hate when other comedians attempt in real life to be too fucking jokey and shticky when we're hanging out. It's like, don't treat me like a fucking audience member, you idiot. Is there things that other authors will do when you're around them that you're like, ugh?
Start writing.
I won't name names, but some other authors keep a little pad and they'll bring it out and they'll put it on the table, just waiting for somebody to say something very clever or very profound, and then they'll write it down.
In front of them?
Right, and that will kill conversation completely because you know somebody's there kind of harvesting.
Yeah, yeah. And then you probably also get people that want to get on the pad, so they're making shit up and being a little too overdramatic.
And that's their fucking horribly needy way of getting attention.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Look at what I'm doing.
Who is that asshole?
Yeah, we hate him. Who
I'm
is
not
it?
going to say
Is that
his
dick
name.
bag?
You know.
It's someone everyone loves.
Shithead.
Someone
Oh, really?
everyone loves.
Beloved. Anthony Cumia.
So wait,
No?
someone everyone loves. It might be Stephen King. Oh, you know what? It could be the Rawlings. What's her name? The broad that wrote Harry Potter?
Oh, yeah.
J.K. Rowling's.
That it's her. Let's just assume it is.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm good.
All
I'm
right,
good
good.
with that.
Get it onto the sites. Fucking Chuck is trashing on the authors.
Yeah, quick. Get it up there.
What's your favorite book? And again, I know
Okay, it's Ann Coulter.
Oh, all right. Well, she is an author.
that's probably a very hacky question to ask an author. But what is your favorite book? Or what do you like to read? Fiction or nonfiction?
Both. You know, the older I get, the more nonfiction I read. But I read mostly short stories. And if I got to push any book this summer, I would push. There's a novel by Donald Ray Pollock called The Devil All the Time. Very dark, horrible Southern crime novel. The Devil All the Time.
You like that?
Yeah, I thought it was terrific.
Who's the author that wrote? I know it was a big deal because Obama just went to buy his new book when it was out. It came out a year ago. Could I have done a worse job of selling that?
It was that book about that thing, you know.
Yeah, with the guy.
No, they
Yeah.
made a big deal about it because Obama went to this little bookstore in Maine and bought it. And it's like he's like this amazing author, apparently.
Bet he is now.
Oh, do I wish I had more to that.
I bet you wish you could take it all back right
I
now.
really do because I literally, what I did was I made it like I was going to walk up the steps and there was one stair and I fell. I had nothing. What was that fucking book that the guy wrote that
Someone will know
Obama
it.
bought?
Let's see. No.
He's like this, supposedly this
No one
great
even knows.
American novelist, and
Oh, well.
fuck him. All right, Chuck. Yeah.
Chuck, thanks so much for coming in, man.
You're a very
really,
interesting
you're
guy.
Very cool. Very
Don't
cool
expect me
to
to
have
save
you.
you.
No.
No, I don't blame you. That got what it deserved, which was just
Zero.
a fucking bored echo from
Zilch.
everybody. Kind of felt embarrassed for me at the same time,
Still do.
as they should have. That's as good on the prep sheet, by the way. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Chuck is openly gay. Thanks for writing that.
What?
They put that on the prep sheet.
Yeah.
Why would that
I'm
be on
not
the
that
prep sheet?
openly gay. I'm not even that gay.
I didn't even figure that out. Oh, cool. That would have changed my whole line of questioning.
Oh, it's too late now.
I know.
To go down that road.
Fuck.
That
I know.
lonely childhood gay road.
See?
Because you never want anybody to say that to you like too much. How did you know?
What the
and then
Barney
they look
Frank
too
voice
intensely.
didn't give me away. Hi, I'm Barney Frank.
Barney Frank voice. That's...
Did this come from us or is that from Chuck People?
I don't know where that came from. I didn't give that to you.
Obviously, it came from an intern that's
the
attractive.
hate sheet.
What's that?
Yeah.
They call that the hate sheet.
The hate sheet?
Everything that's wrong. Chuck will not talk about the following.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Is there
yeah.
anything you don't talk about?
Oh, my God.
Yeah? Is it something you don't talk about?
Boy, they have a lot of stuff here.
Is that right or is it wrong? I have no idea
Probably
where
all
that sheet
wrong.
came from.
It's just drivel.
These are like the worst aspects of my entire life put on one sheet.
I didn't even look at that.
That's why
until
I
just
didn't
now.
even look at it. I
My
don't fucking
father's
look at that.
murder is here. My
What?
father's murder is here.
Why didn't we look at this?
I'm
Jesus
glad you
Christ.
didn't look at this. This is horrible. All the scabs you don't want picked at.
That is crazy. I didn't even look at it, I swear.
My colon biopsy is here.
Jesus Christ. I really did not look at that. It's funny. He's reading his own. Is this from...
That has got to be weird when you come in and just read like, hey, this is your life right here. Wow.
I guess it's... In interviews, it's so weird because TV interviews is so... You know, they're 7 minutes and it's boom, boom, boom. And radio interviews are just kind of, I guess, are more like TV interviews are more like the movie, and radio interviews are more like the books. It's just kind of.
Oh yeah, this is brilliant, like a book.
No. But I mean, you have more time to. I wanted to just say meander in front of Chuck, so he would think I had some sort of a vocabulary.
Meander.
Yeah, I like to say meander. You don't get to say that very often.
Well, you and
yeah,
you're so erudite.
I really like to say meander a lot. It's hard to say that when you're trying to get a chick to blow you after fucking 30 beers.
You can't say meander. It makes you gay.
Does it really?
Gay
is that a gay word?
See?
Yeah.
Now we would have known that if we read the fucking prep sheet.
You've never heard a construction worker say, I'm going to meander down to her clit. I guess. That's a great point. So I don't know. Who put this on here? I just...
Satan, apparently.
Yeah, that is...
Might have been Travis.
That's some repugnant shit.
I didn't know your dad was murdered, so I wouldn't have asked about that.
I wouldn't ask about that.
Well,
but since it's on there, no.
Sometimes people...
That's generally why those are read before.
Well, Ludacris got...
I hope it was many years ago.
Ludacris got mad at us because we asked about the Bill O'Reilly, the rapper Ludacris. And sometimes you just ask these basic... Because I didn't know that, and I'm certainly familiar with who you are. And sometimes you just ask these basic ABC things because it gets people more interested in the product when you're there for 20 minutes. Ludacris got really annoyed with us. He thought we were trying to throw him under the bus. It's like, dude, just asking you.
People get snippy.
Yeah, he just wanted to talk about his movie. It's like, all right, go ahead, good. Talk about it. And he had nothing to say. It's a fun project. Good, thanks for nothing. Really? Really? Were they all fun to work with? Never heard that before. You've never heard an actor say that. How were they? Kubrick was a douche. Wow, that I'm interested in. How was it? You know what, man? It was really great. They're all such great people. Go fuck yourself.
Give me something.
Exactly. What was Scarlett Johansson's tits like when you saw them?
Wonderful.
Exactly. Not that Ludacris knows.
Yeah, true.
All right. Well, we're just kind of coming unraveled, but I enjoyed talking to you. I hope you feel better. And again, tonight, let me plug the
book,
something reading somewhere.
Yes, it is at...
it's a reading. That's
called
pretty fucking cool.
Damned. And how much will you read? At 6 o'clock, by the way, the Strand, Broadway and 12th here in the city.
Just the cover. Just read the
that
cover.
would be funny.
The event is actually at the Cooper Union. The big Cooper Union place.
Do we have that wrong here, or is that the same thing?
Well, the Strand is sponsoring it, but it's at the Cooper Union Auditorium.
Heads are going to roll.
Cooper Union Auditorium. And is that... Where is that? Can we find out where that is so I didn't just like a dick give the wrong information out?
Oh, boy.
Twice?
Unbelievable.
It's by Union Square?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Union Square is around 14th Street. Okay, it's probably in the same area.
We will get that information out there, and heads will roll.
Yeah, we apologize. And I'm sorry I had the tragedy sheet here. I really didn't. I didn't look at that until
That is awful.
Todd, did you put this together?
It's terrible. Iraq? Who put that together?
Maybe sometimes they try to give prep sheets to be helpful, and usually they're wrong.
I call them schlep sheets. Get it?
I don't.
Apparently not.
Oof. That should, by the way,
note to end
the magnitude of that bomb should inspire at least 2 more stories. And mine too. Because if you take tragedies, a couple of these jokes could fucking really blossom into horror stories.
Jokes is that. All right, let's wrap up and fucking take a break.
Yeah,
For the love of God, I gotta pee.
I would like Chuck to sign my book if he would.
Ooh. Chuck, what are you going to write on that?
To Opie?
That's perfect.
By the way,
oh, what?
The Cooper Union is 30 Cooper Square downtown, so it's right around, it's between 6th and 7th.
Thank you, Danny.
You got it.
Danny got that out. Chuck, thanks so much, man, for coming in. You're definitely cool to hang with.
Yeah, Chris Matthews was supposed to come in and plug his Kennedy book, but he canceled. So fuck him.
What else is he going to say about that?
Exactly. We know how it ends.
Yeah, believe me, we all know.
Exactly. Well, really, do you like Hyannisport? Nobody gives a shit, Chris. All right, thank you, Chuck, very much.
Thanks, man. Be right back.
Ring ding